Hello and welcome. Today is Global Tiger Day, and once again time for us to reaffirm our commitment to saving our tigers, to saving one of the most magnificent species that there has ever been out there. And lots more continues to be done every day, every week, to try and focus attention on this and to see what can be done. And joining me now are some of the people behind a range of the campaigns that are there and who have been fighting the fight for a long time to try and save the tiger. So Bittu Sehgal, Executive Editor, Sanctuary Asia. Dia Mirza, who's very closely associated with what's there on his T-shirt as well, the Leave Me Alone campaign. That's the voice of the tiger saying, Leave me alone. So, Dia, great to have you with us as well, and you'll talk to us, no doubt, about the campaign. Vivek Menon is Executive Director of the Wildlife Trust of India. Great to have you with us. And Belinda Wright, Executive Director of the WPSI. And we're also being joined by Raj Krishnani, who's the creator of the Save the Tiger page on Facebook, which is, I don't know how many millions of people are actually now following that very, very closely. So, Raj, great to have you with us as well. I'm going to get a stock from all of you because we keep coming back and saying, look, where is the fight now to save our tigers? Where has that fight actually reached? But first, if you want to say something about the new campaign.
Well, I think the line, Leave me alone, says it all. We're basically saying that the tiger is capable of surviving beautifully as long as we leave it alone. Let's give it protection, let's give it isolation, let's give the tiger space. And especially in a country like India, every time there's talk of saving the tiger, many people turn around and say, you know, we've got so many issues, why are you talking about saving the tiger? And what we're trying to emphasize through this campaign is to highlight the fact that by saving the tiger, you're actually saving yourself. It's the metaphor for all life. And the importance of the tiger, the fact that you can't have that, attitude that we've got huge problems in the country. Yes, we do, but saving the tiger is equally important. And the wonderful things that Sanctuary Asia has done, and we've committed ourselves to do with it. There is a contest for children, where we hope that we will create the future tiger warriors, the future tiger heroes, because it's imperative for children to see the tiger in the wild, to be besotted by the tiger and know why we love the tiger so much. I think Bittu should continue because I will go on.
Anything to add?
Well, I'll just say this, that in a sense it's not new, Vikram. This is something that Project Tiger was launched in 1973. And at that point there was a simple strategy. Give the tiger space, give the tiger protection, give him as much isolation as you can. And nature will do the rest, because nature is a self-replicating, self-healing machine. The end result of that was, within a decade, even the most cynical people came back and said, Project Tiger is the most successful conservation project in the world. And at that point, all the people who had originated the concept of Project Tiger, which had the political support then of Mrs. Gandhi, all of them, to a man, to a woman, agreed that it was not counting tigers that was important. These habitats sprang back to life. Water, streams that would dry up, came back to life. And all the other co-inhabitants of the tiger just sprang back. That's the way nature is. So this is not really a new concept, but we are reminding ourselves on what the tiger needs. It needs to be left alone.
But Vivek, how easy is it to go on doing this? And I think it's also time to take stock a little bit on Global Tiger Day as to where we have got here, because Project Tiger seemed to have worked. People thought the fight had been won in a sense. Then we had this massive, huge dip. And now for the last 2-3 years, again, there's a lot of efforts being made in particular to try and somehow get the tiger back from the brink. Numbers have gone up. But are all of these campaigns making a difference on the ground? And is it actually practical and feasible to leave the tiger alone?
Excellent question, I think. To begin with, let me move back a bit and say, Leave me alone is a fantastic slogan for the tiger in terms of managing it in its habitat. But I presume we don't mean leave it alone in our minds. What we want is 1.2 billion Indians to actually incorporate the tiger in their minds and not make that animal feel solitary in its splendor as the national beast. The political will, which Bittu just spoke about, means a politician must think about the tiger in everything that they do. The bureaucracy must think about the tiger. Our children must think about the tiger and not leave it alone in one sense. Yes, leave it alone in terms of take the pressure away from where they live. And in response to a question, I mean, that is going to be the million-dollar question is whether we can actually, with 1/3 of the world's poor in this country, actually leave the tiger alone, unless we dramatically change the way we look at conservation. You know, I say that we're trying to practice conservation, all conservation, including tiger conservation, with the reality, the crushing reality that we're 1/3 of the world's poor. With the aspiration of 8% economic growth, 7 won't do, right? And the ethics of what our grandmother has taught us. And that's the triangular paradigm within which we are trying to save the tiger, and it's very interesting.